Welcome to Bulldog Sports Insider. I'm Emma Jones.
And I'm Adam Walters here in Studio 604B at Hart County High School, here to give you this week's Bulldog Sports News.
This is Bulldog Sports Insider for October 16th, 2020. Here are your hosts, Emma Jones and Adam Walters. This has been...
Welcome to our show. Today we're going to be talking about softball securing a spot in the state playoffs, volleyball's region tournament this weekend, and football's big region game Friday versus the Lions.
Emma, you mentioned softball making it to the state playoffs and their performance in the region tournament. The Bulldogs secured the third seed in the state playoffs. I know that you were at the region tournament. You were also at the games earlier this week. Can you give us sort of the inside scoop that you have? Can you tell us what you saw and what you're expecting from the Bulldogs in the state playoffs this year?
So Monday started off the best of 3 game series to make it to the second round of the region tournament, and Hart County faced East Jackson. The first 2 games Monday, the first one started out a little bit rocky for the Bulldogs. It was really offensive on both sides, but East Jackson did come out on top. But Bulldogs had a really good offensive game, like I said. A lot of younger players bringing in RBIs, having big plays on defense and offense. So that was good. Second game was it was an offensive shootout. Every time East Jackson would score a run, Hart would come back with 2 more RBIs back and forth. Again, the younger players really showed off in that game.
I heard the bats were hot all night on both sides of the game,
yes.
Like you said.
And in game 2, Red Campbell had 2 home runs, and Boo Mitchell walked off game 2. And then that secured game 3 for Tuesday night. So we go Tuesday. Game 3 was Hart County was in the top of the first, second, and third. I think Hart County had 3 or 4 runs. They were on fire at the beginning of the game, and then middle of the game kind of hit a slump. East Jackson came back and got ahead, and then in the later innings, Hart County did come back and they won game 3. So they won the series, which put them in round 2 of region tournament Wednesday in Carnesville. So first game Wednesday, they faced Franklin County, who's great softball team, has a very successful program the past couple of years, but fell to Franklin. It was a little bit of they got behind a little early. It was kind of hard to come back, a little bit of a struggle in that, but they played a really good game towards the end. They showed a lot of improvement towards the latter half of that game. They fell 8-4 in that game. So then we went to the final game of the day for us, which was Stevens County, and we were competing for a 3 or 4 seed in the state playoff. Stevens County has a great softball team. They're also really good on defense, and a lot of young players who are just offensive, so good, a lot of hits. But Hart County did come out on top of that game, 8-7. It was a very tough game. They played really good. It was down to the wire, down to the very last out, the very last inning, but it was really good. A lot of younger players. Madison Bryce and Emily Sanders brought in multiple RBIs over the series. And yeah, this is going to be their first time making the state playoffs since 2007 with the number 3 seed, so it'll be good.
Young players making some big-time plays, big-time improvements from this softball program. We're excited to see what they do in the state playoffs. They're looking to hopefully make a deep run. I think they've got the pieces. Again, young talent, just keep stepping up, keep doing what you're doing, and let the bats be hot moving forward.
Oh, yeah. And there was a lot. We haven't seen a few home runs in a few games. It's been a few games since we've seen some home runs, but Boo and Red really showed out this week. Boo with the walk-off, Red had multiple, really good, and Red pitched a lot. So Red's the double threat. You got Red on defense, and you got her a beast on the plate. It was a great series overall, especially offensively for the Dogs.
Great showing by the softball team all around.
Now we're going to get into some volleyball news for this week. The volleyball team is 22-9 overall and 9-1 in region. Adam, they have their region tournament coming up this weekend. What's the rundown?
Yes, they do. They have this week off, no games. They're preparing for the big region tournament this Saturday in Oconee. The region tournament is set up. It's going to be a single elimination, best 3 out of 5 sets. It's hosted at Oconee, like I said, and Hart and Oconee have went back and forth on who is the top dog in the region for volleyball. Last week, the Volley Dogs unfortunately lost to Oconee 0-2, and they're looking this Saturday to bounce back and bring home a region championship to Hart County. They've got the pieces to do so. They've got young players, young talent. They've got upperclassmen that are stepping up. I think they have solid coaching around them. I think they can do it. They've just got to go and do what they've been doing all year, which is balling out and really cementing who they are as a program. They've already secured a spot in the state playoffs. So worst case scenario, you're still in the state playoffs.
Yeah.
But they're looking to bring a region championship back home to Hart County and prove that they're the top dog in the region.
Yeah, a lot of success from that program this year. A lot of Hart County sports showing just a lot more, just a lot of progress, success this year on the come up. Volleyball is definitely one of them. We've seen a lot of improvement. Younger girls stepping up, and like you said, the upperclassmen are really taking good leadership position.
Yes.
So proud of the volleyball team this year.
The JV team went undefeated, which I don't think that's ever been done in
Hart County
program
I don't
history.
think so either.
So that's huge.
Yeah.
So that's a sign for what's to come. But we're focusing on the now, and this Saturday, we're going to see what this volleyball team is made of. Hopefully they can bring home a region championship to Hart County. Now we're going to get into some Hart County cross-country news. This past Tuesday, they competed at the Harrier Harvest Meet in Tallulah Falls, Georgia. They had a pretty good showing. Boys placed 4th overall and the girls placed 8th overall, and that was with some of the top runners not running. Diego Martinez placed 4th overall for the boys, so a great showing by the junior Martinez, and they're looking this Saturday to compete in Whitesburg, Georgia. So good luck to them. The next meet that they have is going to be the region meet.
At the end of this month, right? Yeah.
Yes, and they've done very well over the years in region, so they're looking to replicate that. A big name to watch is Matthew Brown. On the girls' side is going to be Paola Rubio, and also Diego Martinez on the boys' side. He placed 4th overall at the meet on Tuesday. So a lot of big names, a lot of big runners. They are fast. They move. I wish I could run that fast.
They have a very, we do kind of have a standard here. We always do perform pretty well in cross country, always have a good name in region. So yeah, a little bit of a standard to uphold, and this year we got some big time runners. Hopefully they're gonna keep that standard up, and good luck to them this weekend. All right, so tonight is the big game. Undefeated Franklin County Lions, our region rival, coming into Herndon Stadium tonight at 7:30 to face the 1-3 Hart County Bulldogs. Franklin is off a big win versus West Oak last week, 49-10. Hart is going to have to play a huge game with lights out defense. Offense is going to have to be on it this week.
Yes, they are.
It was a huge, last week Franklin County is coming off a huge win, so they're going to have a little bit of a momentum push. And this being a region rivalry game, there's always going to be a little bit of this is going to be a bigger deal than most games. So, Adam, what do you think are the keys to the game?
The keys to this game this week, Franklin is a run-dominant offense. And when I say run-dominant, I mean they lean on the run in a huge, huge way. Undefeated this year, like you said, so you're going to need to watch out. They are a solid team. Really with the run offense, what you want to watch for, they're going to chew clock all game. They're going to eat away the clock, eat away the time, and keep moving. Their offense is averaging over 30 points a game this year. Obviously, they came with that huge win against West Oak last week, put up 49. So defensively, like you said, you got to play lights out. You got to stop. Look for discipline on the defensive line as Franklin runs a lot of option plays. Discipline on the defensive line is going to be able to stop option. Also look for linebacker play. You want speed among your linebackers, especially that lateral quickness. You want to make sure that they can stop any run that's being bounced to the outside. One name that I love to point out whenever we're playing Franklin is Ty Shiflett. Ty Shiflett had 14 tackles in the game last year, a big performance. On the offensive side of the ball for the Bulldogs, they've got to make every snap count because, like I said, that run offense is going to eat away the clock. So you're going to have limited possession time whenever you're on offense. So you need to make every single snap count. Look for the run game tonight. Malachi Thomas and J.L. Lackey. They're going to have two big games. Both rushed for over 100 yards versus Jefferson. They are two exciting backs to watch.
Yes, last week, 2 weeks ago versus Jefferson, J.L. rushed for 124 yards. He averaged 6.8 yards per carry, and he got 1 rushing touchdown. Malachi even got on the passing side of the ball. He had 42 passing yards with 1 passing touchdown, had a lot of rushing yards too, and a rushing touchdown. Those are our big offensive assets. We're looking to use them wisely against this Franklin County game. Hopefully picking up a win. Never want to lose to your region rival.
No, you don't.
It's always a big deal, this game is, and just hoping to use our offensive players, use them to their full ability. Our defense, like you said, is going to be absolutely lights out. Ty Shiflett is going to have a big game. Hopefully the young players can step up this game. And I think this is going to be probably our biggest game of the season.
This is a huge game. A lot of eyes are on this game. And moving forward, we're going into region play. Like you said, this is a region rival, and we're moving forward into region play. Maxwell rankings came out. They are the playoff predictions. For those of you that don't know, and they have Hart County as the 4 seed.
But they don't have Franklin in the playoff prediction at all. They have Oconee coming in at the 1 seed, Stevens at the 2 seed. They have Monroe area coming in at 3 seed, and they have us, Hart County Bulldogs, coming in at 4 seed. We can take that as a little bit of a chip on our shoulder, but one thing about it is Franklin County's not on that list.
You got to walk in, chip on your shoulder, play lights out, prove the doubters wrong. The Bulldogs came into this season ranked top 10 by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Fortunately, not in the top 10 anymore after the rocky start to the season, and now ranked as 4 in our region, predicted to be the 4th seed. Let's prove the doubters wrong.
I think it'd really be a good momentum for the team if we did take down undefeated Franklin at home for our homecoming game Friday night. I think with it being homecoming, you know, there's always a big deal around that too. So you got Franklin County game, undefeated, region rival for the homecoming game. A lot of eyes, like you said, going to be on this game. Very big deal. All of our assets need to play to their full ability, and I think we can get a momentum for our region play going right here Friday night.
Yes, we can. Big time matchup, big time game, big time players. Let's take a look at the big time scores from this past week. Now we're going to get into a special segment we like to call Freak of the Week, where we recognize one athlete that stood out to us. Each of us choose one athlete. Emma, we're going to start with you. Who is your Freak of the Week? Who really stood out to you?
So this was really tough for me this week, considering I was at a lot of softball games this week, watching all those girls have great performances. Volleyball, watching them last week, all of them really grinded to get that region spot. It was very hard, but it all came down to really 2 weeks ago's Jefferson game, that Friday night. I'm going to have to go, for my Freak of the Week, I'm going to have to go with number 34, junior, J.L. Lackey.
He's a big-time name.
Like I previously mentioned, J.L. had 124 rushing yards 2 weeks ago versus Jefferson. He averaged 6.8 yards per carry and got 1 rushing touchdown. And he's just a great, in my opinion, I think he's just a great leader. I think he carries a good attitude for the team. I just think he's very deserving of this week. Had a really good game, and he's going to be one of the keys to this Franklin game. Always a big player, always has a lot going for, just always has a big impact on what the team does and how we perform. And I think this week's going to be a really good week for him, and I think he had a really good week 2 weeks ago versus Jefferson.
And if you're wondering why we're choosing a player from 2 weeks ago, we didn't have a show last week, and the Bulldogs were off, so we're taking from our show last Thursday all the way until now. So that's why JL was chosen. Like you mentioned, 124 rushing yards, 6.8 yards per carry, and a touchdown for the junior back. I really like the 6.8 yards rush per carry. I think that is
especially
huge.
Against Jefferson.
He's a bruiser. He can just flat out run you over. He's a fun player to watch. I like to say that he's an SEC back.
Oh yeah.
And I'll stand by that.
Oh yeah.
So I want to pivot now.
Yeah.
We just talked about a bruiser. We just talked about a guy who can flat out run you over. Now we're going to talk about a guy who can run by you. My Freak of the Week this week, Matthew Brown, cross-country senior. Ran a 15:31 5K last week. Broke a school record. That is huge for the senior. 15:31 5K. I can't even run 2 miles in 15 minutes and 31 seconds, and he ran 3.
That's just another one of those upperclassmen cross-country leaders that is just doing big things right now. You got him, Paoli, you got a few more. They're just doing really big things. A school record is a huge deal. It's a huge deal, especially with the kind of season every sport has had to have, with a little less preparation, a little different circumstances. Huge that he can break a school record in his senior year.
Freak of the Week.
Definitely deserving.
Freak of the Week. Matthew Brown, my pick. J.L. Lackey, Emma's pick. We hope you enjoyed that segment. It'll be going on every single week. Let us know what you think if you ever see us.
All right, we're back, and now we're going to do some picks from around the region for tonight's games. Starting off, we have Stevens versus Monroe area. Now, Personally, in my opinion, I think this is going to be a pretty even game. I think they're going to go head-to-head. I think it's going to be an offensive shootout, if you ask me. But I do think that Stevens is going to have a little bit of edge, and I think they're going to come out on top this week. But watch for a close game.
I have a different viewpoint on you. I think that the Purple Hurricanes are going to come into this game and Category 5 Hurricane coming. I'm picking Monroe area to top Stevens in this game.
All right, Adam. All right, the next game tonight is none other than Oconee, who just had their 300th program win against Veterans High School. This week they play East Jackson. My take on that is I feel like Oconee's rolling right now. I feel like them being added to our region is a really big challenge for not just the Bulldogs, but every team around the region. Oconee's a very prominent football program. Last year they played for the state championship in 2A.
In Quad A.
Quad A. If they're playing for championships in Quad A, they're going to be a challenge here in 3A. They play East Jackson. I got Oconee in this game. Feel like it's going to be a little bit of a blowout.
Yeah.
But
I'm not going to spend any time on this. Oconee, big. I'm choosing the Warriors to top East Jackson.
All right, now
big game of the week.
for the game of the week tonight here in Herndon Stadium, 7:30 p.m. homecoming game. Hart versus undefeated Franklin County Lions. Hate week, rivalry week,
Whatever you want to call it.
whatever you want
It's
to call it.
the week.
Adam, who's your pick?
Coming in this game, 5-0 Franklin. You got 1-3 Bulldogs. You may look at that record and say they have 3 losses. They're not even over 500. They have a losing record. Guys, these are not cupcake games. These are meat and potato games. The Bulldogs are a way better team than the record shows, and you're going to see that tonight. I think the rushing attack from Malachi Thomas and J.L. Lackey is too big for the Lions to handle. I'm all dogs in this game.
Thank y'all for tuning in to Bulldog Sports Insider this week. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Bulldog Sports Insider, and we will see you next week.